All right. So, welcome back, everyone, to Main City Radio. This is podcast number 8, and this is RWINK7, and I am joined with DJ Oracle. Thank you for joining me, DJ.
Yeah, thank you, Arwin. Thank you for hosting as always. Um, Thank you guys for joining us in this conversation. I know you guys love Main City as we love Main City. So thank you guys. Make sure you like the video while you're there. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And thank you guys. Share it with your friends.
Right on. Yeah, especially if you're as passionate about Main City as we are, and if you got other topics that you guys want us to discuss, or just even to hear our thoughts on certain aspects of the game, by all means, please drop them down in the chats below, the comments below, and we'll see if we can incorporate them into the Main City podcast here. But yeah, so on
Yes,
the
definitely.
yeah, exactly. So on the itinerary for today, what we're gonna go over is we just got the Great War rewards. So all the rewards have been divvied out or distributed. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about that, some of our thoughts, how good our prize drops were. And then leading into that, we want to talk about the amount of NFTs for benefits, right? So what our recommendations are on NFT ownership. Now, one thing that was introduced, and we haven't quite had a chance to talk about it extensively, is the Munks and the Monk business skin. And today, the Monks just came out with a new roadmap, so we'll do a little bit of talking about that. And then also, there were some changes to auctions. So we want to just touch quickly, give some thoughts on the auctions, and also talk about the increased market activity that we both have noticed. And then the last little bit, as usual, we'll save it for the end. A little bit of speculation on Season 3 Fractured Fates and what the chain and the bottle riddles are hinting towards. So that'll be closer to the end of the podcast. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned. But yeah, I mean, let's just hop into it. So yeah, the Great War. Finally, the rewards have been all distributed, which is kind of crazy to think because that was almost a month ago, right? Like the end of the war. So, but I think seems like people are pretty happy with the prizes that they got dropped, for the most part, at least. You know, my main benefit was definitely the vouchers. Unfortunately, did not get very many decent NFTs. I mean, I got 4 smoke grenade launchers and a turbine. So definitely nothing to write home to my mom about. But you know, how
Yeah,
did you
no,
do?
definitely. So some people got like the best luck. I know Becky got like a data pad and like two Gaily guns or something.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Um,
It's like holy, people are getting like data pads and generators and Gatling guns all in one drop, and I'm just like, yeah, I got 4 launchers.
yeah, I can fan off your smoke. Like if I'm smoking a blunt, at least I got fans to like blow it up my house.
Right? Hey, I
I
guess
have
that's
more
what
than
this big
enough
grenade
fans.
launcher's for.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I got lucky with the Gaily gun, which I first passed as a smoke grenade. Until I actually went into minted and double checked. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, like when we compare ourselves to other people, it's not the best because sometimes short people want to be tall and tall people want to be short and people that have straight hair want curly hair and people that want curly hair want, and I don't know why, but other people's plate seems, even if it's the same plate, they seem a lot tastier than my plate. And I think it's just a human thing. So again, I appreciate everything that I got. I think all of us do for the most part. You can at least make a dollar or two. And I mean, it's just a good price for a competition. I mean, the game is super fun. It was super fun to compete. I learned a lot of things, and yeah, that was a it was a great end to the Great War.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I almost have a theory, like from what I've seen, it seems like the Void winning the war seems like they're getting the better NFT drop. So I wonder if maybe that also influences it. Just
I
my
don't
little
know.
speculation.
Becky is Legion, right?
No, no, they fought for Void. In the past,
Becky?
yeah, in this competition they were fighting Void.
Oh wow. All right, all
Yeah,
right.
they're BKLD 87 or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it
All right,
is.
all
But
right. Yeah, yeah. Hey, maybe you're right, bro. Maybe the devs were like, poor Void. They never won really anything, and everything's really won by Legion. So let's drop the good NFTs to the Void. Hey, bro. It's like we said, it's good to speculate, right?
yeah, yeah, as much as I would have loved to get another Gatling gun, or even a generator. That's really what I was hoping for, was another generator or a Gatling gun. Really, is what I'm looking for. Data pads are always welcome. I mean, they're why not, right? They're the top end when it comes to that NFT collection. But I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not heartbroken by it, but it is sort of disheartening when you get three of the same skins on the grenade launcher and you get it dropped to you four times, and it's like you couldn't at least give me like one of each different element. But I mean, maybe that's the randomness to it, right? So you can't really complain about a free NFT. Just took a little bit of work to get them, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And actually, I mean, the NFTs are beautiful, but the vouchers, now those guys are pretty valuable, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's really what I was fighting for near the end, right? Every position that I bumped up on the leaderboard was like almost an extra 100 crow, really. Another 100,000 vouchers. So,
And I remember you telling me that, bro. I was like, in the places where we're at, like in the top 100s, like every single every single step up, it's gonna help out with the vouchers. Like there's a good gap. Like keep moving up because the vouchers are there. So yeah, thank you for that, bro.
yeah, yeah, it's it's the difference between, I guess, what people fight for, right? If you're down there in the top 1,000 fighting into the top 500, right? You're really just fighting for that extra NFT drop. And so, it's nice to see these lower equipped players getting really nice drops, right? Like my mom sent me what she got dropped, and I was like, man, you got way better than what I did, like an EMP and a data pad, or not a data, the encryption device. I was like, solid,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even I know
Yeah,
Flippin, he got a
things that
couple
she
like
needs.
viruses, viral capsules.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got a viral capsule. But you're right. I mean, all these NFTs is like a lot of NFTs as simple or basic that it might seem. So for some of us that already have many of them, for a lot of people that don't have that many of them or try to cap out, it's gonna help them to try to get to the cap.
Yeah. Well, and even if you think about it too, right? Like if some of these newer players ended up getting something like a generator dropped and they don't have any backpacks, they can't even use it. So to me, it's like they're going to put it on the market to sell. And what my hope is that, they would take that money that they just made by selling that NFT, roll it into some backpacks, maybe grab yourself a land, right? You sell a data pad or a generator, you're at least netting probably $70. So you can pick yourself up a dune, five backpacks, and you're laughing. You're ready to go.
Yeah, that's a great point, bro, that I didn't think about because like what I was thinking about is like, yeah, maybe you could just buy one backpack and start equipping it, that data pad. But I didn't think about like yeah, like I remember when I sold my Dark Lion, I was able to buy lands. So you are on point, bro. Like if you got dropped a good NFT and you don't have that many lands, you're better off probably, like, again, it's no financial advice, but what you said was right, bro. Like focus on making more diamonds. Maybe you can sell that, get some good lands, and those diamonds are gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then, they're not going to be competing in that top 1,000 to 500 range, right? They're probably hoping to get into that top 500, get that extra NFT in the future, and once you hit the top 500 too, that's where you actually start to see the vouchers start to collect, right? Because now you're not in the decimals, right? You're not getting 500 vouchers. You're up into the 3,000, 4,000 vouchers, so you're starting to actually net some crow here. So yeah.
Yeah, and use them for the market. Like if you want to get a blueprint, maybe you need a business for merging, and you don't have to pay that 20% to get your vouchers. If you pushed, enough to get good amount, like you said, now you have more room to play with, right?
Yeah, it's obviously up to the player, right, as to what they want to do with their prize, but you know, but I'm sort of kicking myself. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait to see what I get airdropped. I'm gonna wait to see what I get as a prize. And I was looking, and on crypto.com, they had some Gatling guns for $21 each. I was like, I should just buy a couple just in case, because I needed them anyways, right? And now I'm looking at it, and I was like, man, they're back up to like almost $40 a piece. I should have just bought them then instead of hoping to get some dropped from the prize pool. But no, well,
That's the market, right? That's crypto. That's the market. We're like, I wish we would have bought Bitcoin at that price, right? For
right.
years ago, or whatever. So
Hey, we're in the game at least now, right? So that's all you can do.
and there's money competitions to come around. I mean, there's um yeah, we're looking forward to many more comps. It was super fun, bro. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get some more competitions coming up. I don't know if we'll have a schedule announced, maybe partway through next month, right? But I couldn't see them. They'll probably end up doing one for like a spring, sort of like a spring blitz, maybe. Do a week long one, maybe near the end of April or the start of May. But you would think they would start to publicize them unless they're really just going to like spring it on us, right? It's like, hey, next weekend we got this going on.
Yeah, I know. I like the pun to spring it on us. Nice. Well done. Well done. But yeah, you're right. I mean, main city is all about like when you talk about time is relative. Yeah, time in main city is like soon means a million years. And then there's like a new drop in like a few seconds with new information about something. So
Right?
yes, they always stay tuned for Main City. Their timing is not regular timing. They're like an alien timing.
Yeah, it's almost just like, well, you almost got to start calling it main city time, right?
There you go. Main City time. I like that.
Yeah, it's funny. In Thailand, they've got they call it Thai time, right? Don't ever expect anybody to be on time because they run on Thai time.
No.
They just show up when they show up. So don't get mad at them. And it's almost the same with Main City, right? It just happens. And here it is, right?
They show up when they show up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Other than that, like I don't really got much else to speak on for the Great War. I mean, it went well. Sad defeat for the Legion, but yeah, it's good to see the Void community members are holding strong. You guys seem to be getting some pretty good drops from it, so yeah, and you guys typically are the newer players, right? Like I know Papa and Mr. Loco and Sunshine, Diamond Hands, all those guys out there in the trenches recruiting newer members to come in, play Main City, and a lot of times they're joining the Void. So a lot of new players on the Void, so it's good to see you guys are getting some good prizes. So it's all healthy for the game, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's right. It's all healthy for the ecosystem. And yeah, shout out to all the new players. I guess to close World Series 2, let's do a quick shout out to the top 10 players. Number one was Crypto Ocean.
Yeah, here, let me
Number
just
two
swap back
was
to the game so we can actually see the leaderboard.
Okay.
Just go to past events here. So there you go. You want to do the shout out?
Yeah, shout out to Crypto Ocean, number one, Crypto Diamond, number two, Meta, number three, Kimbo at number four, Hayden at number five. Shout out to Lion Sentinel at number six, Fiend 4 Crow number seven. Shout out to Hysteria at number eight. Shout out to Big number nine, and shout out to Four Rams one. Yeah, bro. I hope I didn't murder your name. Shout out to the top 10 players.
Yeah, I wonder if he uses the 4 for an A. Aramis. Or it's probably 4 Ram.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, then shout out, to yourself. You ended up with
Ram
102,
ones,
right?
maybe.
102.
From
Yeah,
Rams.
there you are.
I'm like every time I read the name, I think of the Rams, like the LA team, the football team. So I'm hoping that he's a Rams fan. But that's just my LA bias.
The Rams, a Rams fan. Well, he might be. You never know, right?
Yeah, you never know.
There we go. I'm back in
But
Discord.
yeah, what else we got going in the agenda?
All right. So yeah, that covers the Great War rewards there. So let me just check that box off there. So yeah, let's now that people are starting to get some of these NFTs in their wallets, I think it's a good time for us to discuss our opinions on the amount of NFTs required to obtain either a mediocre or a moderate benefit versus like the maximum benefit.
Yes, because just when I thought that I was maxed out in some of my tools, I'm realizing as I equip them and unequip them that I still have a little bit of room to grow. Like for some of my tools, I really thought that I was at like next one is 0%. But after carefully checking, I realized that, for example, my binoculars can still give me some diamonds. Like it's 0.02% on the next one that I get. But again, in main city, that matters to me. So I think I need to buy another binoculars.
Yeah, I mean that's arguably a good cutoff point, right? Like if you don't, I guess let me caveat it this way. So like it's a good cutoff point for the expensive NFTs, right? Like if you get to that point and it's like 0.1%, right? Whereas it's normally 2%. Okay, maybe don't buy that $100, tent if you've already got 6 or 7 of them, right? And you're getting like next to no benefit. But I mean, if you've already got 7 binoculars and it's like, I think they're like a $3 or $4 NFT or something like that, right? It's like, for that extra 0.02% that, is going to help you maybe just get to that little extra bit of diamonds and, over a 30-day competition or even in normal mode, right? Like all those little extra seconds and those little extra percentages are going to give you that slight bit more diamonds that will help you progress faster. Now, is it going to be a land?
Yes.
That's the cutoff point, right? It's like, if it's like a $45 NFT or I could buy a dune, chances are you're going to get more diamonds from a dune.
Yes, sir. Thank you for bringing that up because you're right. Just because you can get a little bit more benefit on the NFT, I didn't think about the price what you were saying. So yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. If it's like a flashlight that is a $1, like why not?
Yeah,
but if it's right, if it's kind of what?
I was gonna say, yeah, grab 10 of them. If they're $1 each, 10 of them, like your max benefits at that point.
Yeah, and eventually, like if enough players come around, like 3 years from now, hopefully, like the price of these flashlights will go up the same as the price of the blueprints, right? Like when supply and demand, right? Supply and demand. But Yeah, I only kept thinking about like capping my percentage, but I didn't really think about the cost of doing so. So thank you for bringing up the ROI. Is that what they call it? Return on investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful on what you need to buy. Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah, that's always my big concern, right? It's, I mean, I look at it like you said from a very numeristic mentality, right? Of like, well, how much is this going to cost me? How much is it going to bring benefit wise in the game? I mean, a lot of the NFTs I end up purchasing to complete sets for the elements and stuff like that are pure, vanity in a sense, right? It's like, I just want to make sure I have one of each element. You never know what they're going to be used for. Maybe the elements will start to play in effect, hint hint. Maybe
Right.
this bottle riddle stuff might have something to do with it, but um that's always my concern, right? Cuz like I'm looking at tents again right now, and it's like I've got a couple tents. I could really probably buy 3 or 4 of them and still get some really good benefits from them. But again, that's like to buy 4 of them at the floor price right now. I think it's like $110 each. Like I don't have 450 US dollars just to throw at tents. I mean, so
Yeah.
those are expensive, but I might be able to buy one more, or maybe look at some more lands. So that's always the hard part, right? Is to find that balance point between, purchasing these NFTs that are going to help boost other in-game metrics, such as your diamond production, your experience when you're placing furniture and stuff like that, versus, I mean, as we've always been saying, land is king, diamonds are key. Where do you get diamonds from? From land, right? So that's always why it's like, if you're gonna buy something, buy land. Really, until you get to a point where it's like I'm buying land and I'm not getting diamonds, then it's like, well, that makes more sense than to start really looking at tools and other NFTs.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Get your lands up, even dunes to help. Like you said, diamonds are king, and that's the name of the game. Besides prestiging up tools, uh, you know, you want to build them up little by little. That's the good thing about the NFTs or the game. You don't want to try to break your bank account to try to be number one. The people at number one, trust me, bro, they're in a different. The people at the top 10, they're at a different level.
They're in
So
a
we
different
don't have
tax
to.
bracket.
Yes, there you go. Well said.
No,
We
I
don't
don't
gotta
know if
try
they
to
actually
compete
are,
with
but
them.
just a joke, right? It's
Oh, they gotta be.
yeah, it's a lot harder to compete when you get into the top 10, right? It's a whole different other game, and you know, I mean,
And, yeah, and just mad props to them. Shout out to them because they a lot of times they say, like you like we were talking about off air, about how we are so good to complain in Main City, and we're like, oh, it's a pay to win, and people at the top they're just paying it. They don't really realize the really amount of clicks, and that's work. The amount of clicks that they have to do to get to where they are, and not only that, they're supporting the prize pool. So don't think that they're privileged. A lot of these guys in the top 10, they are literally just playing because they love the game and they're not necessarily making the most profit out of it.
yeah, like they might be making like 2, 3 thousand crow, right? And here I am sitting on like a good 5,000 from my prize pool, right? So and one thing maybe just to circle back on the rewards, like how long it took for them to confirm the leaderboard. And I know I saw it being said a few times in the Discord, right? It's like it took
Mhm.
them forever to confirm the leaderboard. And you think about it, these people had put Crow into the game to buy vouchers with the anticipation of getting that back out of the leaderboard, right? And with it taking as long as it did, like that's money locked up, right, for them in a game that's already been confirmed that they placed in their position, but they're just I mean, validating or whatever, confirming the leaderboard, which nothing changed. I didn't see any
Well,
changes, right? So,
not in our range, but there was a player that kept saying that he lost like 60 um placements on the leaderboard. But I think that player didn't see it like the last day. Like I don't think he kept going back to, when you go to the leaderboard and you go to past events.
yep.
They were saying that he slept like the last 6 hours, and he didn't understand why in the last 6 hours his placement was so different than before he went to sleep. And people were trying to tell him like that was the last day. The points were like times 30 or times 15, however you want to interpret it. And like literally that was the most points in the whole competition. Like literally anything could have happened in the last, like just when you think you got it, you don't necessarily do. Look what happened with the end, right? Like just when Legion thought that they had it in the bag, the Void make some last minute decisions and took the lead.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's the
I mean,
thing with it.
uh-huh.
Yeah, right. Like that last day was very important, but like also it, playing the whole time is important too. So you can't discount that, but and I was kind of nervous, right? Because I remember talking to Mr. Singh about his placement, right? He just wanted to make sure he was in the top 100. He had secured it by, I think it was like 4 or 5, no, maybe almost a full week out, right? And that's when he started to sell some of his businesses to secure some of the profit before he sort of climbed down the leaderboard. And, I had made a model projecting placements and when you've secured a certain leaderboard rank. And then I started thinking more about it. It's like, well, if Ocean, right? Because you saw Ocean drop down to basically the bottom of the leaderboard and gave rank 1 to Crypto Diamond, right? So then that offsets how the points are earned, and that's the same even in those lower ranks, right? Like if somebody's in the top 100 on live, right? They're gonna blast past you. They're making way more live power than what you're making in the 300s or the 250 range, right? So, that's the hard part of it is like, if somebody's in a really really advantageous live power where they're like making 10 times the amount of live or amount of total power or the power added to their total power is like 10 times more than you're getting, they're going to move up a lot faster than you, right? And that's when they're going to start pushing people that were already above you further down, right? So if you have 5, 10, 15 people that end up doing this, right, and getting into a really good live rank and pushing your live rank down, or even if you kept the same live rank, you're pushing people that were already above you further down the leaderboard, which is going to push you further out of the position that you're in. And then your live rank at 350 to whatever it was, 300s, wherever you're at, right, is not going to be enough to counteract people that are at near the same position as you but are now generating in the live ranks 100, right? So that's, and it really adds some variability to the game that makes it more exciting, I think, because while these people that would buy in near the end aren't going to get into the top 100, right? They're going to be able to blast past the top 1,000, blast past the top 500, right? If they're in live rank 100 on that last day, they're going to probably get into the top 200, somewhere in that range, right? And that's going to push everybody else back down further down the leaderboard. So, it's still not buying position, not like it was in the first World Series, but I mean, personally, I think the way that they're doing the leaderboard is much better than it has been in the past. It still could use some refinement, but essentially, it is better than it has been, right? You're not having people literally buy in the very last day and ranking 50, right?
No, yeah, that's so true. And it goes to say that the devs definitely do listen to the community in the Discord. So again, guys, if you're not in the Discord for Main City, go ahead and do that. Um, we'll put the links at the bottom. So because that's where the alpha is like spread out, like it's free. Like we all love the game so much that we give all this information, right? And so yeah, also what I'm checking is that the people in the top 10, their gap in between income, it's like pretty high, right? So we got for Ram one at number 10, and he's got 1.84 AO. Then the next one at number 9, which is big, he's got 40, he had a 47.05 AW. So from AO to AW, that's a big difference, bro. And the next one is Hysteria at number 8, 300 AI. So that's a whole other different. But when it comes to the lower ranks, the difference is literally like one prestige. You know,
No,
so
no.
don't be surprised
The
when people move
difference
up.
in
Yeah,
the lower ranks
yeah.
is good roles on a high quality business. Not even another
Thank you, sir.
prestige, right?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Like it's marginal. Like you're neck and neck compared to, like you said, like you, and mind you, some of these top 10 players were selling out and sort of moving down, right? That's why Ocean's got 1 gold. Like,
Yeah,
right? People were complaining about that,
yeah.
being like, "Oh, he took first place and he only has 1 gold," and it's like, yeah, but he was like top. He was number one rank for like 2/3 of the entire competition.
And not only that, bro, like for real, that's a good point that you're bringing up because don't complain at a player that knows the mechanics of the game. Like he didn't cheat, he didn't write a code, he didn't go in there and write a code that messed up the game. You know, like just when you were telling me about Mr. Singh and how you guys were like, okay, you guys were calculating and all that, and you knew that things were secured. I don't know how to do that stuff. And a lot of people that don't know how to do that stuff, they just complain instead of admitting that they don't know how to do the math and be like, yo, you know, instead of complaining, ask what's going on. And again, if you're not in the Discord for Main City Discord, go ahead and get in there because just like Mr. Spot, Spot is very well at breaking down numbers. Any question that you have, Pampa is another one that's good at breaking out numbers. R-Wink is another person that's good at breaking out numbers. So if you don't understand something, don't complain about it, like ask what happened because like you were saying, he won with one income, but because he knew what he was doing, right?
Yeah, and he set it up that way just to be funny. I mean, rank 1 has literally 1 gold per second on the leaderboard.
At least income in the whole leaderboard, and he's number one, right?
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah,
which
that's
is
straight
funny,
up
right?
trolling.
And
Yeah, that's a good
links will
one.
be down below for the Discord. Hop in there. I know another guy to shout out, Curious NFT, I think is his name on the Discord.
Yes,
He's always in there giving
valuable
people.
member.
Yeah, he's a wealth of
Yeah, no,
knowledge
go
too.
ahead. Uh-huh.
Go for it.
No, go ahead, Henry. Yeah, no, you're right, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying he's a wealth of knowledge too when it comes to the game mechanics, right? So, and it's confusing. I know a lot of people are confused by live power and how that relates to total power, and it's something that maybe next competition I can try to do a good video on it to really get people to understand it. But I mean, it's complicated, but it's also really not. It's just like you cut like it's like a bank account, right?
Math.
Like your total power is your
Math.
bank account, and your live power is how much you're getting paid per hour, and you stack that money in
Oh,
your bank account. Like
wait. Arwink, Mr. Arwink. Can you say that again?
what? The bank
That
account?
was beautiful what you said. Yes. The metaphor that you use for like, yeah, can you say that again?
Sure. All right, one more time. So The way I look at it is like live power, right, is the wage, the amount that you're getting paid per hour, and your total power is your bank account. Where does your wage go? Goes into your bank account. So you keep collecting total power, your bank account getting bigger based on how much live power, the actual money you make, your wages, and it gets just compiled and added up, and then at the end of the competition you go and you see who has the bigger bank account.
Yeah. So in other words, what we're saying is that you gotta work and work on your businesses to get income, right? You
That's
gotta
it.
make those clicks. You gotta make those clicks. You can't complain about like, yo, I didn't get paid. But yet, how many clicks did you get in this hour? And it's actually 10 minutes, right? Like it gets compiled randomly with every 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, which is kind of funny, right? So you could have two consecutive, like if you think about it, and I've thought about the way that they could work, right? So you would have zero gains for a total of 9 minutes. Then it would calculate your live power and add it, and then literally a minute later, because it could be anywhere within that 10-minute time range, it could be on the 11th minute, right? So now you've literally had minute 9 of the previous 10 and minute 1 of the next 10. So you've really only had like three minutes, and you've already doubled, or like you've added twice. And then you could have a point where it's like, okay, well, it added it in the first minute and added it in the ninth minute, and it's almost a full 20 minutes of no power being added, right? So
Oh,
it's a weird system, and it's hard really to, like, until you really play it and try to like watch how your live score works, and it's a hard concept to really fully wrap your head around, right? So I understand the confusion. I definitely do.
yeah, me too. I understand the confusion and frustration, but yeah, you said it perfectly. You wanna kind of like if you're asking about the mechanics and then you don't understand the question, the answer, like right, a lot of us sometimes we're like, but why is it this? And then they give us the actual paper, answer, the calculations, and we're like, oh, I don't understand that,
Yeah.
But you said it perfectly, bro. The more you play, the more you understand how things are done. You said it perfectly also. Like it could be a calculation of the first second of the 10-minute randomness, or it can be the 9 minute of the 10-minute randomness.
Yeah, it's all over the board. There's no way to calculate it, no way to determine when it's going to happen. It just happens within one of those 1 minute intervals within that 10-minute interval, right? It's like, oh, anyways,
So,
I mean, we
so,
now we've
so
went
we
off
gotta,
on a
we, so
completely
we
different
gotta,
tangent.
hold on. No, so we gotta, okay, to close this out, we gotta agree that the best way to rank up your points is to keep playing, right? As
Oh,
much as you can,
100%.
just play as much as you can.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I get it. There's techniques and tactics to, like, play as minimum amount of time as you can, but if you're looking to
If you got
play well,
money,
play. Just play the game, right? Like,
yeah, because yeah, if you really need to be away from if you're on the competition and we are on the leaderboard, right? We can be like the people on the top where they can stack up a boosters. Like I can't afford to stack a booster when I'm gonna need those diamonds. But people on top, they can afford to stack boosters and pay for the fee.
so yeah, actually, so I played around a little bit with that, and I wish I would have recorded it more, but I never realized. So you stack a booster, and it charges you diamonds to stack it, right? And then if you want to stack
Right.
another booster on top of that, it charges you even more diamonds than the first time, right? So it's not.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, this can get expensive, because like if you wanted a 24-hour lightning booster, you are paying heavy for that with diamonds.
Hey, but that's how the top players are able to sleep, right? Which is what they requested. Top
Yeah.
players also have the right to have a beautiful life and be able to rest and play at their own level. So I believe it's, if maybe we don't need to stack up the boosters as much as, the people on top. Like they're really on top because they're on another, they got other things going on in their life. So again, it goes back to when we have opinions about the game, join the Discord, express your opinions, and these things get updated in the update. I mean, this game is brand new. If you're brand new to the game, welcome to Main City, and you are super early.
Yeah. We're not even on mobile. So, count
Yes,
yourself
sir.
among the, what is it, first entrants or, you know, leading the charge on this game, right? Like, I don't know. What do you think we had? Probably, I would say maybe about 2,000 people actively playing last competition to some extent, right? Like maybe not active, but dabbling in it.
I mean, ranking points. They were ranking points. They were clicking.
Yeah, maybe not. There was I think there was a decent amount of people gunning to try and get into the top 1,000. And I think we're done with the amount of NFTs for benefits, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, essentially, just if you're looking for benefits, weigh the price of it. But yeah, let's. We should have talked about auction changes and whatnot first, but nah, it's all good. We'll continue with the sequence that we're
We're
on. But
rolling, brother. We're rolling. We're rolling good. We're doing
yeah,
good.
hey, we're
Again,
doing it
the
live.
best, the best, the best way to know how many NFTs to just close up the NFT topic is go to your NFT profile in the game and click on your NFT and see how much percentage you are willing to get if you buy the next NFT and check out the NFT price and see if it's worth, or maybe you want to get a land. So I think that's what we got out of that, right? Maybe lands versus NFTs. Weigh your choices.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think if you're a new player, I mean, tools are nice to have for sure. And if you're thinking you're going to be a long-term player and you see a good deal on, a cheap tool or a cheap backpack are always good. I mean, backpacks are always good. So don't skip on a
Yeah,
cheap deal on a backpack. But,
that's
tools,
so true.
tactical gear, if you see a good deal on them, take them if you're planning on playing long term. But essentially, I think, if you're going to put money into the game and you're still uncertain about it, put it into land, right? Land is
Well
where it's
said. Well
at.
said. Yes, sir. What else we got going?
We got the monks. So the monks did just release some information about their future roadmap. Um, if I was a little more coordinated, I would bring up the roadmap. Unfortunately, I don't think I have it set up to be able to do that right now. So we'll just briefly talk about it, and then I think the exciting part that I want to bring up is the skin. So we can flip back to my main city eventually, and I'll show the skin that I have. I know you got a different color. Yours is more of like an orangey red one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like autumn. It's more of a end of the season, and I think yours is more like the spring. I think it's a happier, like bluish, right?
Yeah, mine's a blue mushroom. I was thinking it was the winter blues, but maybe
Nah,
not.
bro, you got the flourishing. All the rain came on your monk house, and everything's good. I still gotta rack up all the leaves that are falling on my fall.
Yeah, yours looks more like a poisonous mushroom. And don't they say with if you're looking for magic mushrooms, cut it open, and if it's blue on the inside, it's good? I don't know.
No, bro. I trust your monk house to give me better mushrooms than my tree house.
Yeah,
Uh,
mine's got the
that's a
good.
good one.
Mine's got the blue
You
magic
got the good
mushrooms.
stuff. Yeah, you got the good stuff.
But yeah, so essentially, I guess maybe just to run through quickly on the monks' roadmap. So they are looking at helping onboard other communities into Main City. So that's pretty cool, right? So as part of that, you'd be part of like their affiliate program. So I'm waiting to hear a little bit more about how that all works. There's going to be an AMA this coming Monday, so I will be part of that if anybody is tuning in. I am not responding to the questions. I am simply being the vocals for the responses, since the developers aren't very comfortable in English. So I'll be reading out their responses for everybody. But there is a form. So make sure you have any of the questions that are pertaining to the Monks roadmap in that form so that they can go through them and respond appropriately. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming, I think, for the Monks program, what they're trying to do. And they've got a new website, similar to like, a launch pad, like, what is it, pump.fun. Theirs is gonuts.fun. So similar kind of concept where you can launch a token, launch an NFT project and all that fun stuff through their new website that they're developing, right? And I believe that you can pair it with Nuts. Again, that stuff, hopefully that'll be confirmed at a later date. But yeah, lots of cool stuff, I think, within that community. And being the lead, or the first Legion at least, and first partner within Main City to have a business, I see a lot of good things coming for them. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's a great breakdown of what's going on. I saw their roadmap as well, and it's pretty ambitious, which is great, right? We want to have projects that are big on dreams and are having ambitious roadmaps. Their skin is beautiful, and they give a pretty good amount of bonuses. With my monks that I think I have 10, I wanted to get 10 for the for the custom, and my bonus for the skin, it's almost it's 49, so it's almost at the 50%. um and yeah, it's a great project. They have a great roadmap. Their NFTs are beautiful, and it gives a great example and a great leadership when it comes to what businesses and skins and the possibilities. We have other projects with NFTs, which is like the Mary, of course, right? We have the monsters. So they may or may not get skins, but it also leaves the option open for new projects to come in. Me being biased, and I did not get paid for this, but I like the Brave project. They have really
Yeah.
cool NFTs, and if I would love for them to get integrated into the game.
Yeah, no, that's the hard part. There's so many cool projects on Chronos, and it's just that, you know I hope that maybe this is an aspect that the Monks are bringing, is maybe lowering that entry to get into the game, right? Like if they're part of like an affiliate program, does that help them get into the game a little bit more economically feasible, or is it still going to be more expensive through Main City? So that's all stuff that I'm really interested in hearing more about, right? To see how it all actually pans out, because it's not cheap. So
Yeah. No, no, and you're right, and yeah, you're right when it says that the monks are the ones that are the breakthrough, right? They're the first ones. I know I saw their token go up pretty well. It's performing pretty well, and they also I know the community mentioned that the nut house has not only the nuts, ticker symbol, I would say on top of the door.
Hmm.
But the door itself, it's like a vault, right? It's like a security vault. So people are excited about the potential of the whole project. And yeah, it's a beautiful skin overall, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I like the skin. I think it looks pretty cool. It's I don't want to say I'm the one that recommended a treehouse, but I definitely was commenting treehouse. Treehouse is what you guys need to do in the Discord. But I
Oh,
think it's
really?
yeah, they had a little event
It
going
looks
on.
cool.
Yeah, they had an event where they would let the community put in recommendations, and I think Papa Bigfoot also recommended. There's a few other people that were saying treehouse, so it's not. I mean, it's not uncommon. Like you think a squirrel or a chipmunk, right? What's the first thing that comes to your
Right?
mind? Like kind of a tree
the
house.
horn, the horn, the tree. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I think
That's
it's
pretty cool. I mean, yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, I think it's a pretty cool skin. They did a great job bringing it to life in the game. The only thing I have to say that I dislike about it is that it makes the rest of my city look lame because it looks so cool, and then all the other businesses are like they just don't look as cool now.
But yo, they were so cool until you came around.
Yeah, all these businesses look so great. Now we have this monk skin with a treehouse, and it looks so cool. And then everything else just looks so well. I've been looking at you for like the last year. You look no different now. This one's just, it's all jazzed up.
Yo, that's hilarious, Arwink. That's for reals. Everything else we have now, it looks so last year.
Exactly. So now we
But
need
I
to get
mean,
some
I'm
new
still laughing.
skins.
Right? Not with the man, the new skins.
Yeah, that's it. So hey, I'm
Yeah,
excited. I
that's
would love to
beautiful.
see monsters get a skin. Mary, maybe Mary turns the Apex Tower into a haunted tower or a haunted house of some sort, and you know, I know Papa Bigfoot mentioned it. He was saying with the crazy monsters being based off of horror movies, the Cineplex, right? The Felice, that would be probably a perfect business for them to turn into something. So, yeah, who knows where they're going, but yeah, maybe the Brave gets in next. I know there's the Revengers, the Ishin Revengers, so they're uh, they're talking a little bit about it, but I think that's the route that they're going with Main City, right? Is it's a metaverse for Kronos, and if you're in this metaverse, it's a massive promo, right? Like what you're saying with the monks, they've got nuts right on the top. That's the ticker, right? As more people come into the game, and as we sort of lead into the next topic that we're going to discuss, right, of the market, like, hey, main motors have never been hotter. That's for sure. I remember back in the day, you'd find those for like 10 crow. People were just getting rid of them, right? And now you're hard to be able to even outbid somebody at like 50 crow for a zero prestige one.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm pretty sure that helped the monks get their NFTs to be sold because you need at least one to equip it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then the more monks you have, the cool thing I think about the monks, right, is so if they're all on DeFi, if you have five of them, you're getting royalties from sales. And then also, with their roadmap, there's going to be royalties and payback stuff through the platform that they're developing. But trying to, like we were talking about earlier, the maximum NFTs you need for the benefits. And to get the max benefit, which is 50% booster on your main motors, you need to have, a fair amount of them. 7 to 9 will get you close to that 48, 49%. So that's, another incentive to help move the NFTs on the market, especially if somebody's, maining main motors, right? That's their main business. Makes perfect sense then to invest a little bit more money, get a couple monks, they boost your gold, they boost your diamond production, they boost your experience, and then they also have this business skin that also gets a good boost, like a 50. That's a, what is it, the silver, that's a permanent silver booster. The silver,
Yeah.
like, it's insane. And I get why then, with this change, I get why they didn't want to release it prior to World Series 2, right? Because if this was like introduced into the middle or even at the start of the competition, I think it would
Hmm.
have maybe changed some people's strategies. And so they wanted to avoid throwing that in there to confuse people because, you know, it's it is new, right? And it needs some time to get its metrics ironed out with how it interacts with the rest of Main City. Because right now it's a hot business. Everybody wants a main
Yeah.
motors.
Yeah, because the skin, it's a pretty hot skin. But yeah, thank you for bringing up the fact that it was done after the competition, because you're right. Not only would it be an unknown and something brand new, but it would kind of seem a little unfair for people that are not holding already monks. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that they did a good decision to make the update after the Great War, to let people, get their positions with their NFTs.
Yeah, exactly, right? Um, it's something that needed, like, if they were gonna release it, it would have had to been released at the start of the showdowns for people to get a good understanding of how it works, or after the main series, because that's the last. I mean, like we were mentioning earlier, people like to complain. So if they introduced a whole new mechanic to the game right before World Series 2, it'd be a easy topic for people to complain about. So I think that was smart on the developers' part, just to sort of hold off that little extra time, you know, and it definitely added a lot of excitement, right? And sort of bridged that gap between the prizes being dropped and, the end of the World Series there. So gave us something to all clamor about and be like, oh, hey, check out this, look at this, this is my color. What modifies how, what dictates the color of the skin, and lots of fun stuff to speculate about.
Keep us busy for a little bit till things get vouchers distributed and NFTs sent out.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a wait, but what can you do?
No, but yeah, that was good. I mean, any news about Main City, it's super exciting for people that love the game, and the community is growing, bro.
Yeah, no, it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger, and I think this is a perfect segue then into. I mean, other than guys, make sure if you're interested in the Monks project, try to tune in for the X Space. That is Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time is the plan for that. So tune in, if you got any questions, make sure you submit them in the form. But yeah, we'll segue into the new players coming in. First, we'll touch on the auction changes, right? So and then we'll talk a little bit about market activity that we both have noticed. So auction changes. Previously it was a 2 hour auction max, right? So if you put a bid on a business after 30 minutes from it being listed, it would put the timer at 2 hours. And then if somebody bid again on that within 30 minutes, it would drop the timer down to 30 minutes. They've changed the auction system again, and now any bid, doesn't matter if it's in the last 5 seconds or the first 5 seconds, it puts the timer to 4 hours, which
Yeah.
I've I've noticed personally that it definitely brings more attention. It gives people more time to look at it, mull it over. It's like, oh, okay, it's been sitting there for 2 hours with this bid. I'm going to put a bid in on it, right? I don't see it working well in competition. No, what I mean? Like, think about it. 4 hours to wait to buy a blueprint at the start for some of these bigger players. Like, I just don't.
Not feasible.
I don't think it's feasible. They need to find a better balance, and I get that. Whether it's whether it's for the benefit of the player to be able to get more vouchers out of their business, or if it's the benefit to the benefit of the developer by being able to get more market transaction fees because now the price of the business sold higher. I can't say for sure. I don't know. I can't speculate on it. The only thing that I can say with certainty is that 4 hours is a long time to wait to have somebody put a bid in and reset the timer for another 4 hours within the last minute. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, now it's an 8-hour auction.
Again.
Yeah.
Now we have to go back to 4 hours.
Yeah, it just.
I gotta see if I don't get, I'll beat it again in the last minute.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be a tactic maybe later on that people employ to stall purchases. You're gonna get caught maybe with your pants down a few times if you bid on something, or it might also, and I think, funnily enough, it was an aspect of the last competition, and I saw some of the bigger players talk about it. Max bid. That's what I'm willing to pay for it. Put that bid in, and if you get outbid, just keep on moving forward. You just, you know what I mean? It's like,
but you could do that right now, right? Like, can you put in how much you're willing to pay? Like, let's say the bid is at 3 crore, and you're like, screw that, I want to pay 45 crore for this gold blueprint.
Yeah.
Can you just go to 45?
Yep. Yeah, you can. You could put in whatever voucher amount you want, and I think that's where it's gonna be encouraging that type of play style, right? It's like, I know exactly what I will pay for this, so instead of trying to pinch the vouchers, right, and like, oh, maybe I can get it for 35 instead of 45. It's like, yeah, well, you bid at 35 and somebody then resets it again in the last couple seconds to another 4 hours because they bid it at up to 40. Whereas if you would have just bid 45 and they wouldn't have touched it, then you would get it in your 4 hours, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what else I was thinking about too? I was thinking about, like, let's say that the blueprint, the gold blueprint, is 30K right now. And you're like, well, I'm willing to outbid everybody up to 60K. But maybe if they stop bidding at 30K, even though my limit is 60K, but if nobody outbids me at 30K, maybe I should be able to just get it at 30K and get the other 30K back to my account because nobody outbidded me. But then, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because, like, I don't know. It's an interesting metric with the market, and I know the under the table deals that had been going on for a bit that precipitated the auction system, right? So it's just it's a hard game to play because, right, it's nice to be able to put something up for 1K and know that it's going to get traction. People are seeing it, bidding on it. There's the 4-hour timer, so people will get in there and sort of interact with it a bit more and bid it up to a more appropriate spot. But, it even comes back, and I've heard some people ask for it. It's like, well, if it's sitting on the market, why can't I put an offer in? Right? It's like,
Oh.
right? But then again, it comes back to, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to put, hey DJ, I got an Apex tower that I'm going to sell. I'm going to put it for 10 million. Nobody's going to buy it. I'm going to give it to you, and you can come in and you can offer 10 10,000 vouchers or whatever, right? And then it again skirts the whole issue that we had earlier of people being like, okay, I'm going to list it for 1K. We're going to be on a call. As soon as I say that it's listed, you're going to click on the market and you'll see it there instantly, buy it right away, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what they're trying to avoid is this whole ability for people to make side deals, right? Because that's what
Mm-hmm.
ruins the game. Because then people can do a side deal, and it's no different than buying NFTs right now, right? Like I could say, hey, I've got an NFT that you want. I'll just withdraw it to my DeFi wallet. You send me the crow to my DeFi wallet, and I'll just send you the NFT. And we've completely skirted the entirety of the royalties that would have been distributed to crypto.com on those sales, right? Because we just did transfers. So it's the same with the businesses that they need the royalties though, right, to continue developing the game. Whether they need them or not, I'm not at liberty to
I
fully
mean, they
understand.
gotta get paid somehow, right? Like
Exactly.
it's so good for us to talk about the devs, but the devs like really need to get paid for their time.
100%, right? Like they're working on the game, whether you like it or not, who the devs are or who they are, right? They're pushing the game forward as best as they can with the direction that they get from both the community and crypto.com. And I think they're doing a good job. They definitely have brought in feedback that the community has requested for features within the game. So they're doing something. They're listening to us to a certain extent. Whether they're literally listening to us right now, I don't know. But ultimately, they've made changes.
I was just gonna say, uh-huh.
Yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say like we're gonna need a timestamp on the podcast for that says devs and about devs because honestly, bro, I think we kind of like we're a little bit like we underestimate the devs sometimes as a community because we're like so passionate about the game. We forget that the people in the background have to like kind of like deal with us and our
Right.
passion, and they still have families, and they have to go like they eventually have to finish developing and live their lives.
Yeah, exactly. This is just their day job, right? Whether they even like, I don't even know. Maybe they don't even play the game. I sure hope they do, right? Because at least then they have a better understanding. But heck, they might be just so close to the game. They're like, I don't even want to hear Main City in my off time. Don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, it's like people at McDonald's. They don't really want to eat McDonald's every day when they're working at McDonald's.
Yeah, I smell greasy fries all day. Now you want to go get those things? Like, no thanks.
That's crazy. That's true, right? So yeah, let's put a little timestamp for the devs. Shout out to the devs. We appreciate you. Crypto.com, if you're listening to us, which you should be, shout out
Yeah.
to the devs on this main city. Yeah, man.
But yeah, and so that's the concern I have with the auctions, right? They're not going anywhere. The auctions make the most sense to me, and it just comes down to us finding a happy medium for a duration, right? And I honestly think it just needs to, like, they just need to drop it just to 2 hours, right? Like, just leave it at 2 hours. 2 hours is a good amount of time. 4 hours is too long, in my opinion. But like, if you put it up at 2 hours and you get some activity on it, it's already 4 hours, right? Like,
Okay, so yeah, I think even meeting in the middle at 3 hours, like trying to be like somebody from that side, like, oh, let's meet in the middle, 3 hours between two. No, that's still a little too long. If I wanna meet you, I'll meet you at 2.5 hours. What do you think? Two
yeah,
and a half hours is all right? If they want to like increase and I told these, bro, see, sometimes like people think that we don't know what we're talking about, but I told people like, why are they doing this at 2 hours? And I'm like, because they're trying to make sure that other people see the business. It's like, when you're like in a real market, you don't want to just like be in an hour and then take off and like nobody even had a chance to see what you were selling.
yeah,
But come on, 4 hours, it's like, bro, are you gonna bid or not? Especially when it goes back to like, okay, let's say that they want to keep it at 4 hours until the first bid. And then after the first bid, instead of going back to 4 hours, let's go diminishing returns, right? Let's go to 3 hours, 3.5 hours. And then if somebody makes another bid, let's go back to 2.5 hours. And like it doesn't have to always go back to 4 hours.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'll hit you with this though. So, you know, the original setup was any bid outside of the first 30 minutes, set the timer to 2 hours, right? Any bid within the first 30 minutes brought the timer down to 30 minutes, and then any bid after a bid within 30 minutes would bring the timer to 30 minutes. I think they just need to get rid of that aspect of it, the 30 minutes, and just say like, okay, first bid, timer gets set to 2 hours, and it just stays at 2 hours the whole time, right? So,
Oh.
right, because it was that 30 minutes I think is what caused issues, because if somebody saw it right away,
Uh,
and got the bid in, then you're at most looking at an hour, right? Like if you hit it at 29 minutes and 59 seconds, it sets it to 30 minutes, and now you've got it for under an hour, right? And you'll have that business in your inventory. And so I think maybe getting rid of that aspect of it is the right way to go. And just, but 4 hours is too long.
yeah, we can definitely agree on that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll continue to modify. Maybe they'll keep the 30. Like.
No, I think I like what you said, bro. I like what you said that leave it for 2 hours, and that's gonna also help whoever's there at the time when they bid on it. I don't know, maybe the first time extend it for, if they want people to see it more than 2 hours, maybe after the first bid extend it for half an hour, but after that don't extend it anymore. Just let the bids go through. Let the bids go through and let the people win what they're going for, and that'll be better for the seller too, right? And that'll be better for the market. Like, yeah, I see it now. I see what you were saying. When you were talking about like two hours. I think that first bid extended half an hour, and then from there just let it roll, baby. And whoever has the money, then let it roll. And good for the seller, good for the buyer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And it is definitely a benefit for the buyer, or sorry, the seller, not for the buyer. You know, the seller is going to get more eyes on it, a little bit more traction. And having that a little bit extra extension on time is going to give somebody that few extra, an extra hour if they need it to calculate and be like, does this make the most sense to me, right? And find that true happy medium where it's like, this is going to benefit me and this is how much I can spend on it, right? Because as of right now, I think, with the 30-minute timer, it gets too impulsive. With the 4-hour timer, people just go, there's going to be another one listed. Doesn't matter.
It's too slow. Yeah, I was gonna say that too. With the full 4 hours, people start losing interest in that one bid instead of making that emotional, which will makes money. Like sometimes we make irrational, but it makes money for all of us. But yeah. But let's just keep the adrenaline going in the bid. That's what we call an action. If nothing happens in the action, they move it to the market when they should be able to be there for 4 hours. That's the market, but not in the bid. When we're in the bid, we need things to be moving fast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but there still needs to
Yeah,
be
I agree
time
with
for
you.
people
I agree
to
with
see
you.
it, right? So that's where I think 2 hours is a good spot. You get two
Uh,
hours. Hopefully, somebody's logged in within that time. If not, hopefully there's been a little bit of a bidding war and you might extend the auction up to like 4 or 5 hours, right? But as of right now, it's like 4 hours. You could wait the entirety of that 4 hours. Somebody puts a bid in right at the end. Now it's an 8 hour, right? Do it one more time. Now it's 12 hours. A couple more times, we're at a full day before you even bought a business.
yeah.
And that ain't good.
Yeah,
That's not good for
and
competition.
no, and people could be doing just for trolling the system, right? Like that's something I know I shouldn't be thinking about this, but something I'll be like, I know it's only 30 seconds left on this bid. Let me extend it for 40 hours. For 4 hours, for 4 more hours.
Yeah.
Even if I don't care about the bid, right? Like, let me just be like malicious to be like, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't wish this evil thoughts upon anybody, but I'm pretty sure, like, that's just a way to troll. And
Oh,
let's try to
100%.
avoid trolls like me.
Especially if you were active at the start, you know who's bidding on it because you get those notifications in your inbox, and then you're like, I know it's DJ Oracle. He wants that new museo. I'm just wait till the last second. I'm gonna outbid him just to piss him off. See how much you really want that business.
That's so true.
It can be
Oh my
it's right for
goodness, that was
exploit
good.
too. But I mean that's the fun part, right? Is people find exploits to all sorts of stuff and things you'd never even think of, and you're just like, how did you even come up with this idea? I mean, but hey,
Hey,
it
I
all
didn't even
leads to
think
making
about
the
the
game better.
message, bro. Like, you're so right. And totally forgot that it tells you who outbidded you. Like I bid it on a gold blueprint, and like I put up like I think it was like at 30, and I ended up like picking it up at 80, but I kept bidding it, and I don't know. I was like, they gave up too soon. Like the floor is like. I think the floor and the bids were like at 40 and we were going at the 30s. And then I was like, oh man, I wonder like they hear like the name DJ Oracle and they're like, no, I don't want to go against them. And then I was like, oh man, no, I feel bad for you. But then again, that's my bipolar that I start thinking of. But yeah, man, like the fact that you can see who is like outbidding you, it's super fun, and we should be able to message people in within the game. What do you think about messaging people within the game, like players within the game?
I I like the idea of it becoming all encompassing metaverse social hub for Kronos. I just the hard part, and I think maybe just to go back 1 second here would be to, like we only see other bidder. It's only if you've been outbid that you get the notification of who outbid you in your inbox. You'll never see that on the ledger of the bid tracker on the business. And I think they do this specifically so we don't know who we're bidding against, right? Because I mean, there's for the most part, we know each other to an extent, and we're all within the same X spaces. We all talk on Discord and stuff like that. So I think they're concerned with showing the other bidder as an actual name would be,
Hmm,
if if I saw
little
somebody like Meta
toxic,
or
isn't it?
yourself or Papa bidding on a business, I just leave it unless I really needed it, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
right.
that's a great point. I didn't think about that. You're so right. Yeah.
So I wonder if that's maybe
For
why
me,
they're
I'm getting
leaving
more.
messaging out, right? Because maybe they'll
Yeah,
bring some way for us to vocally talk to each other, but
we'll get too toxic.
yeah, maybe. I would just be worried though about as soon as you get that notification, then you could send it to somebody and be like, dude, I'll pay you some crow, just don't don't keep bidding me up. Like, you know what I mean? Right. So I and you can kind of do it through X, and you could try to reach out to somebody on Discord or whatever, right? If you knew who it was that was outbidding you. So there is still
Yeah.
that potential exploit, but I think maybe that's what they'd be more worried about is like if I could literally just go to the leaderboard, click on your name, click message, right, and then be like type you a message and be like, screw off, I'm trying to buy that museum. Right? Like it would it would undermine the whole aspect of the auctions. So but I
Yeah.
would love to be able to message and have like group chats and talks, and once we get to the AI stuff that's going to be brought into the game and the VR and the whatever other future plans they have for like 2026 and 2027 and leading out, like I do hope that we can all get together in the mansions and you know actually just hang out and talk within the game, not have to go to X, not have to go to Discord to do some of these social interactions. have a similar sort of like X space kind of experience that we were in earlier today, and all that fun stuff where we're all just chatting about the game and whatnot. But maybe that's hosted in somebody's quality 6 cool
Mansion.
cats.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's that theater. So somebody, yeah, bro. That's you're absolutely right. And wow, bro. The thought that you said like the way we can get together in X. That we're trying to like every time or even when shout out to Crypto Joe, I think that's his name. He did a few lives on YouTube. He's a new player.
Oh yeah, Crypto
Um,
Dojo.
Crypto Dojo. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. And we were trying to explain. I don't think you were there for this last weekend.
Yeah, I was driving back
Maybe.
to my apartment, so I missed it.
Yeah, so what we were doing, and shout out to Papa because he always comes up with a great idea. Dude, Papa loves this. Shout out to Papa Bigfoot, man. We
Huge
definitely
shout
need
out.
to have like what is it called? A slingshot with the what?
The Bigfoot with the slingshot giving out quests. If they don't
There
do
you
it,
go, sir.
like if they don't do it, we almost need to like start a community NFT project that gets in the main city just to push that. It's like all minting
Yes,
fees goes
yes.
to making Papa Bigfoot in the game.
Yeah, but we need Papa Bigfoot with the slingshot in the game. So shout out Papa. So he was like, let's because he was asking these things and I was typing and like I was try to go through it and like he's like, instead of everybody like Papa's like, I'm not gonna chip in because like, I don't want to confuse things. Like he's like oracles like saying these things and the steps. And but the Papa's like, but it'll be better if we can like all talk about it, right? Instead of waiting for people to type it up, like it's better if we could just like in real time, like be like, hey, yo, this, that, and the other.
Oh,
And
okay.
so
I
he's like,
You guys did a space, right?
so we did a space at the same time he was doing the live. So he was doing his YouTube live. So we were all watching his YouTube live while we were all chatting with him on X. And there was a lag, the space was a little ahead of the YouTube, but it worked out, bro. Like it was better than typing, trying to type everybody, trying to type this, that, and the other the space. So the fact that you were saying that if we could do that within the game where we can have like videos about gameplay or whatever but within the game,
Yeah,
that would be oof.
be crazy. No, okay, so I did see a little bit afterwards, because I saw a space was ongoing during the same time and that he was in it, right? And so that's what I sort of figured was going on because I remember the last time, he would ask a question, we would type it, and it would be almost like a minute delay, right? And then he would be like, "Oh, read it," you know. And I've
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of YouTube streaming, and I know it's got a delay, right? Especially like if you look at my first live stream I did, I think it is, you'll notice I just like when I stop the stream, it just cuts it off, and like there was a lot more that I had talked about that the stream didn't even capture, right? Because of how much delay there is. It was like a good 40 seconds to like a minute delay. So it's hard trying to like get that synced up correctly and reading your chats and all this type of stuff. It's disorienting, honestly, for the lack of better words here. Because yeah,
Not the best way to do things.
no, no, but it's fun if you're just it's more for showing gameplay and stuff, right? Like, hey, this is what I'm doing, blah blah blah, and
And we're all
chiming in
brand new
every
to
once in a
this. We're
while
all
in the
trying
chat.
it brand new, right?
What's that?
I'm saying we're all brand new at these things. We're all trying to figure things out. We don't know what we're doing. All this crypto stuff is brand new, and we're all trying to figure these things out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. It's a whole new world, right? This whole crypto concept is slowly developing, and we're all part of it and helping it develop. That's the cool part about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What
Yeah,
else
I
do we
mean,
have on the agenda? How far
well,
are we in?
I was gonna say, so we did get through the auction changes, but we never quite got to the market activity, right? And so speaking of Crypto Dojo and what was going on with him being a newer player, right? Like, I mean, I for one have noticed a lot more activity in the market. You know, whether it's due to the 4 hour extension on the auctions, or I guess not an extension, 4 hour duration for auctions, or if it's just the amount of new players that have been coming in. But there's definitely been a lot more activity in the market. And I mean, for the better part of this whole month, the market's been like empty. Like there's businesses available for sure. You can purchase them there, but they're usually overpriced. But when there is competitively priced businesses, man, do they get bids and fast. Like people are active bidding on them. I'm getting outbid and I'm getting frustrated, being like, man, like before the World War or the Great War that we just had, like these, I would have just put this bid in. It would have sat there and nobody would outbid me and it'd be gone. It'd be good to go. But now I'm getting outbid on like 2K voucher purchases for like the most random businesses I'm just going to use to merge. I'm just like, what's going on here? You guys really want these LL Sports?
Yeah, for reals. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to look at like even the cool cats are so expensive. And I think it goes for the same thing, right? Because we know that like basically the alpha is like get a couple, like maybe on comments if you can afford something bigger, but everything else pretty much cool cats. And so the cool cats has been pretty hot in the market.
I
And
don't even touch
yeah.
them. Don't even look at cool cats. I'm like, they're out of my price range.
You know, I bought some and man, I should go. Good thing we have the history now. We can actually go back. We could probably do this offline. But I bought four cool cats at 289 prestige level 289.
Damn, how'd you get those?
That's what I'm saying. Like I could go to back, but I think I got them. Man, like we should talk about this too on the inbox. We should have where it says rewards. Maybe we can change that to market activity, because to try to see what's going on in the market and have to go through the general tab, I have to go through the booster expire, booster, and then auction, action, action, action. If I could just see it all in one action,
Yeah.
um, it would be great. Like I mean, like even when my blueprints don't sell, then it's like a message or you blueprint it and it all goes into general.
Yeah, moves over to the
Um,
market.
yeah, I was I think it is. I think it's right here. Well, it doesn't say what the prestige level was, but I know it's these four because they're together. I bought them one at 173K, and the other one at 170K, the other one at 185K, and the other one at 180K. So did I overpay for 289s?
No,
Cool
not.
cats.
I mean, cool cats are what you. I guess like I would rather buy a. No, I guess because when you bring them up to Division 1, right? They're cheaper too. I don't know.
And I'm
It's
thinking the
hard.
diamonds that it would take me to get it there, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's a video I've been meaning to try and make is bare minimum to get to Division 1. Literally just run pure cool cats. How many diamonds do you need and how long would it take for each interval? But yeah, anyways, I mean, well, we could talk about that later. If I can make it.
I know. I don't even know how I got to the cool cats. I'm sorry. Was it for the market,
Well,
right? For the market?
you can check your market history, right? So if you go to the actual
Yeah.
market, check history, it'll tell you how much you bought it for.
Yeah,
So,
that's how I found the prices that I gave you right now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I did find them.
It
Yeah,
should show you the prestige too.
yeah, 289. That's what I'm saying. 289 for 100 and something K, 100 and something K.
Oh, okay, I must have missed something that you said there. All good. No, that's decent
Um,
prices for them, but yeah, I mean, the auctions have been a lot more active than I've seen in the past. So, I mean, it bodes well for the development of the game. Things are progressing. We're getting a bigger user base, and people are getting all gung ho about climbing that leaderboard. So, yeah, I'm
And
excited.
yeah, I think the Great War created a lot of buzz in X, I think, and it kind of like got a lot of lions because we still have a lot of people that own lions that are loaded lion holders and they're not playing the game. And I think we should get those loaded lions. You already got a lion. That's already a plus in the game, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think there's still a lot more user base to come. I think the barrier to entry on it being needing a PC was a little bit steep for a lot of people. That's why I'm not a day one player. I'll admit it first. I own the assets to play, but I was stupid and thought that, oh, it's coming to mobile like next month. I'll just wait for that. So glad I didn't wait for it to come to mobile because it took forever. I finally realized, right? I think it was like mid-November, right? And you guys had already been playing for almost 2 months. Like, it's not coming to mobile. I just gotta bite the bullet and like figure out
Let
how
me
this
open
whole
up
DeFi
this.
stuff works. And man, it made it so much easier though. I was like, I don't even need to like transfer my assets. I can just sign in with like scan the QR code. And so this whole like barrier that I had built up in my mind of like, well, I'm gonna have to like transfer this over and I gotta do this and I gotta do that, and like then I can have my DeFi wallet. And I was like making a mountain out of a molehill basically, right? And I was like all worried about how much it's gonna take and all this time I'm gonna have to sink into trying to learn this stuff. And it was so intuitive. It was just like, just sign in with your DeFi wallet, link the crypto.com account by scanning this QR code, and bam, my NFTs are there. I'm good to go.
So you were more into the DeFi than you were into the TriFi, the tradition. You were more into already like MetaMask and all that. Look,
I was more on actually Cardano. So I was doing some stuff on Cardano, but
mm,
and then when Binance left Canada, I needed to find an exchange, and that's when my friend recommended Crypto.com. He was in it, so he was actually my housemate at the time. So him and I both got pretty heavy into the Crypto.com ecosystem. I've been trying to convince him to buy NFTs, and he's just like, "No, I got coins. I don't. What are NFTs?" I was like,
is it
"Whatever,
playing the
man."
game?
Nope. I've tried to convince him. I was like, "Dude, I will literally like, I can get you to the top 500 every competition, no problem. Like, you just need to do what I." And he's just like,
All you
"Nah,
gotta do is
man."
get it going, like start it up,
Yeah.
right?
No, he won't even touch it. I was just like, dude, what the fuck? So simple. You have a laptop. All you need to do is this and this, and like, yeah, whatever. I mean, lead a
Yeah, no,
horse
I
to
feel
water.
you,
You can't
bro.
make him drink.
Yeah, no, I feel you. The same to me. I was like, I just like started trying to learn about crypto. As soon as I learned about the blockchain technology overall, I was hooked. And
It's
yeah,
revolutionary.
yeah, definitely. And the fact that, like you were saying, you're able to scan but yeah, I didn't know really nothing about DeFi. So after the game, I'm so glad of all the community and they're so eager to help. And I'm able to now, I think I'm able to be more in the DeFi and have more of my assets on the DeFi side than just Coinbase and stuff. Like now I use Coinbase to buy my stuff and send them to my ledger because of the fees. They're a little cheaper than crypto.com, but I love crypto.com for the ecosystem and the family, the community.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Right? Like, I mean, you're not day trading on the Crypto.com app. Like, if you're gonna start
Yeah.
getting into day trading and options and all that stuff, you've moved your assets that you're trading onto DeFi, right? Like, that just makes sense. Crypto.com to me is my bank account. That's the way I look
Yes,
at it.
sir.
You know what I mean? It's like, got my credit card that I can use. I transfer most of
The
my,
rewards.
Yeah, exactly. Get the rewards, and I actually moved my loaded lion, my dark lion, and my cyber cub that I'll never sell onto my DeFi, just because I mean it was about time. It's like, well, instead of dealing with people even trying to offer on it, it's like I'm never selling it. Like, just put it in my DeFi wallet. At least then it's in the game. I'll always have it. It's in my DeFi wallet. I'll never lose it. Good to go. But
That's a great idea. I'm gonna do the same with my forevers.
yeah, that's sort of the way I look at it, right? Like, if there's no reason for me to list it, right? Like, I look at crypto.com as like a good exposure. If I'm gonna sell an NFT, that's where it needs to go. My next step and my next plan is to try to move over one of every element for one of every of the NFTs for the game. The only ones I'm missing are tents. Was it tents? I'm missing some virus capsules. And then data pads, generators. I think I'm missing one EMP shell, and then I need 2 other Gatling gun types. Maybe 3. I can't remember. But the expensive ones. I'm missing the expensive ones.
Hey, that's what we gotta. That's why I can't wait for the next competition when they can give out more NFTs because we never know what we can get on these NFT world. But what else do we got next?
Yeah, so that was the market activity, and then I mean, well, we're just into speculation and chitter chatter at this point. A little bit of talk about that chain in the bottle riddle. I know I liked your answers you gave.
Well, I asked GPT, and what? Something I noticed is that a lot of people missed that on the riddle it said 5 types of energies. So people started saying like time and life, and I'm like, life is not a type of energy. So when I put the riddle into Chat GPT, I asked the answer. No, I put it. The answer must be a type of energy, and that's how I came up with mine.
Okay. No, that's smart. Because yeah, I did save your answers. So you had some interesting ones. So
I
you
think it
put
was echo energy.
yeah, you had echo energy, magnetic energy, potential energy, thermal energy, and then plasma slash nuclear energy.
Yeah, and I think on the last one, I didn't want to like be disqualified by putting the slash. So I didn't think I thought nuclear was like too, even though it's so advanced in real world, like in crypto world and like in futuristic, I think like plasma would be more for it than nuclear. I think nuclear would be old school for crypto.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did put a slash. I mean, I already know I'm not going to win because Canada can't win. As a Canadian, I'm excluded. So I did put a slash in the first answer when I did it. But what I had sent over to my girlfriend, since she's in Thailand, she was able to enter. So hopefully she wins. But the answers that
There
I
you
put,
go. Nice.
so I had echo or sound, right? Sound energy, echo energy. I was going to put resonance, right, is the technical term for the energy, but um, I don't know if you noticed on each of the riddles at the very top, underneath of the file name, they call it resonance file.
Oh no, I didn't notice.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, do I put resonance? But then they use resonance as like the file name. So I'm like, is that a hint or is that just like don't use this word? So
This is too generic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I put echo
Uh-huh.
and then electromagnetic. So I think that was similar to
Oh,
you because you said magnetic, but the actual force is
yeah.
like electromagnetic.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then I did gravity. And then number 4,
Yeah.
I put radiation.
Oh,
And
okay.
then number 5, so this was a bit different because I know a lot of people were like geothermal energy, lava, right? Like you put yourself as nuclear. I put
Mhm.
tectonics, right?
Oh,
So like,
Tectonic is that's when the Earth moves, right?
yeah, and that's what they were talking about. The Earth, the crust moves and
Oh,
destroys
crackling.
and forms, and
Oh,
so that was my idea. I was
the
like,
fraction, the fracking, right? Like, oh wow.
so that was the answers that I
Sorry
put.
to cut you out. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So I don't know. I mean, tectonics it's not technically an energy, but it's sort of like an energetic force, a thing that's on pretty much every planet as far as they can tell that has some sort of molten core, right? There's always some sort of tectonic plate movement. So it's like, maybe. I mean, what's the worst? Hey,
Right.
the worst thing that's going to happen is they say no, and they already did before the competition started. So
The worst that can happen is they're like, you got it right, but you're Canadian.
right.
I
It's
mean,
like,
not
at least I
Canadian,
know
but
I
you're
got
in
it right.
Canada. You're in Canada. You're like, you
So
got them all right, but you're in Canada. Sorry, buddy.
yeah, so you could choose somebody else to get them.
Yeah, because you could be a Canadian with your girlfriend in Thailand, and then you would get it. So it's not that you're Canadian; it's that you're in Canada.
Well, the worst part too is I would literally have to open a new account with a Thai address to be eligible.
What? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because my address, right? It's the address that I registered for the Crypto.com app that puts me as an ineligible contestant, right? It's the same as like I don't have these like when Bara, right? When the Bara token came out and they
Mhm.
had staking, I didn't
Yeah.
have staking, right? The 50% staking for Bara token wasn't available for Canadians.
Jeez.
Yeah. So then I switched over to DeFi, put my DeFi wallet in. It's just, I'm kind of mad at that game, but I did buy some more Bara token to stake some more. So whatever, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Hey, what are we here for, Crow fam? Wait, fortune favors the brave, right?
Exactly.
We're all here brave, baby, for everything.
But yeah, so
So
I mean, the
yeah, I
chain in
think,
the bottle, we'll see what energies they release. But I heard rumor it's land NFTs that they're giving out. Did you hear that?
yeah. Yeah, they did say that in the post. They're gonna give out lands. I hope that they're not all like just the dunes. I mean, you're doing a riddle. They better be like. I mean, man, imagine if they do at least one blockchain.
That'd be crazy. Oh,
Dude,
imagine. And then the guy just
sheesh. I
floors it
mean,
because he doesn't even want it. It's like, oh, buy that. Oh,
and
the
then what?
floor
The
on
next one is down is
blockchains
the
is
molten.
insane. It's like freaking $5,000 a piece. Holy man.
Sheesh. And then diamonds that they give you.
I'd rather just buy like for $5,000 you could almost buy like that would be like what, 6, 7 molten caverns?
Oh, for reals. Yeah, no, you're right too. Yeah. Whew. Anyways, hopefully good luck to all of us. Whoever wins them.
Yeah, definitely
We'll
good
see.
luck to everybody that's eligible. Hopefully
Yeah.
hopefully people post about it when they do win.
And the answers, I think we're all going to be surprised what the actual answers are.
I think so too. Be interested to see if anybody actually gets all 5 or what.
Yeah, you're right. I wonder if anybody's like really, because you know what? Somebody else said that it was the five energies, the five not energies, but the different types
The
of
elements
weapons
on the
that we have
weapons?
now. That is the Azura or Petabyte, and
Yep, yeah, the elements. The elements on
yeah, the
the
elements. There you go. Yeah. So somebody said, "Oh, this is so easy. The answer are the five elements." And I was like, "Dude, they're trying to make a new NFT. They don't want to use the same elements, you know?" Like I didn't say that, but I was like, I just didn't think it was it.
Yeah, I hope it's. I don't know. I really hope it's not a new NFT that they release. Because I just like I've racked my brain a bit about it, and I'm just like, what else makes sense, right? Like maybe the only thing I could think of is like if they really went and tried to push heavy on like using tools and the exploration and all that type of stuff. Maybe bring out like a vehicles, right? Like if they ever made like an overworld world map and we could like travel around and like I could go to your land, see your city by driving like a vehicle or a plane or a helicopter. Or, helicopters are probably the rare ones, or higher tier versus like a bicycle for the commuters, the poor people. But
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could think of is like vehicles. I mean, what else? What other NFT? Like we've got weapons, we've got armor for defenses, we've got a bunch of tools to do exploration. Like there's already in-game assets for stuff that you place furniture wise, right? There's already the businesses, so it's like, what else other than more PFPs can you really add? Lands, vehicles.
But
That's
they did say they're developing a weapon, right? I think.
well, they think it's a new
They,
weapon. I personally think we're going the direction of
I,
like we're gonna see this result in like a new maybe a new blockchain enemy.
shout out to that one, the one that, like, I don't want to put names on blast unnecessarily. So shout out to the guy that was saying that like the answer is all five elements that are already there. And then to follow up, he said, I think the new weapons are gonna be like for us to be able to do like a fusion of the same elements or weapons, and kind of like increase their quality, kind of thing, or like do a fusion of the two of the same kind of thing, kind of like, I guess, the businesses.
Yeah, yeah, the
So
merging
yeah,
aspect, but on the elements.
I don't think that's what it is either. I really think that they're gonna push a new NFT. So I mean, I don't even know if it's good or not. I'm not even sure how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, I just like new NFTs, and like, but of course I don't like to like just unnecessarily spend any money, but I
Yeah,
don't know, bro.
that's the
So
hard
I'm
part,
half
right?
half.
It's like if they release a new NFT collection, and I mean it's been nice that they at least airdrop NFT holders the core ones, but it's also like the trade off on that is like I'm not an infinite pool of money, right? Like there needs to be a spot where it's like, what does this NFT actually add? Or are you just adding dollars to your bottom line, right? Like I don't see there being there'll probably be another NFT collection. I don't think it's part of season 3. I think they're more looking towards getting partners in and trying to develop the storyline of Main City, and they've got a lot of stuff that needs to be delivered that was part of the original roadmap before they start releasing even more NFTs for us to buy. And God forbid they even try to release another land NFT collection. Like there's not
Yeah.
enough players, not yet. Maybe once it comes out on mobile, that'll make sense then. Maybe do a mobile. Hey, mobile's been out for a month and now we're going to do an NFT drop for some new lands. All right, that makes sense because you guys now have 100,000 users on mobile and there's only, 25,000 lands. It makes sense.
Mhm.
But until we have
Mhm.
a user base above a consistent 1,000, right? Like it's not that hard to break into the top 1,000 if you play in competition, right? Like
Yeah.
and so to me it's like, okay, maybe we've got about best case scenario 3 to 4,000 players that at least sign in once a week, right? There's not the user base quite yet. So that's where I'm like I'm very staunchly on the side of like I don't think an NFT collection's coming, and I'm probably wrong, but I'm holding out hope just because my pocketbook can't take too much more purchasing. But yeah, whatever, it is what it is. And
O- Okay, how about this? How about if for any weapon NFT they try to drop, they should airdrop one weapon to match each weapon. You know how they did with like you mentioned earlier. You know the basic tools, how they airdrop this, and drop for any other tools that we have. Like if they're trying to do a new land drop, they should match the land holders with a 1-to-1 free,
Yeah.
right? So if they want to get new players, then the new players can buy their own. But for us new players, you want to increase our NFTs, then give us one for free for anything. Weapons, you airdrop 1 for 1 for the new NFTs to whatever ones we hold, right? Because a lot of us like we hold even for the ones that we won on the team, maybe it makes more sense for people to try to move the market because I don't know, maybe because people will have an NFT that will be able to have an airdrop matching to that NFT weapon. So they'll be want to buy one before the snapshot or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Right? People would pick up those just to be able to be eligible for the 1-to-1 airdrop. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with something along those lines, because it'll devalue the value of our NFT in the long run because now that it'll be basically making it 1 for 2. But no, I mean, if you got it and they're giving it out to us, it'd be nice. Um, I think though, with these riddles, I think what it's setting it up for is maybe to like truly bring the element utility to the NFTs that we have,
Hmm.
right? Because right now, what is petabyte? I don't know. It kind of looks like the blockchain stuff, right?
Yeah,
So, and
dude.
Ember, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you ask me, it's like Ember, and then there's another one, right? The spiky one. I think the spiky sort of
Uh,
looking one goes with the dunes, and
oh,
the Ember goes with the molten cavern. But
dude, imagine. I think that imagine, and that's what the guy said. Like, I don't know. I just brushed it off because I was like, it's too obvious and too simple. But he's probably right, like you're saying. Maybe the answers are the 5 elements that are already out there. Do you think?
I think that the 5 elements on the weapons and tools are going to relate to the 5 energies that they're trying to hint at with the riddles, right? And so I think
Oh,
I think that's what's coming is that they're going to finally bring the metrics or the interaction
utility.
between the um, elements on the NFTs versus like, hey, do you have, right? Like, I don't have blockchain lands, so maybe the petabytes aren't as useful to me. Whereas, I've got a molten cavern, so the ember ones are my best bet to really own, right? And so it might
Yeah.
might encourage people to start stacking a lot of the same element because that's the best element of land they have,
Mm,
right?
yeah,
Instead of
yeah,
trying,
yeah.
like my goal was to have one of each element. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense because you get a bonus for matching your top tier land, right? So then it's like, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, then I need to basically have all Ember because that matches with the Molten Cavern, and that's the best land I have, right? Whereas then, the other players that are playing with blockchains or lagoons, right? They need to have your petabytes versus your azules or whatever, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope that's the route they're going. Just because, well, I mean, the situation, so I don't have the money to put up for another another large mint at this point. So it'd be nice to be able to see them work with the NFTs that they've got and continue to build the community rather than expect the community to continue to float the game.
So I think some free airdrops. I think it's always welcome, right? Like I know, I don't know. Yeah, I know what you were saying. Like, too many dilutes some, but if they have different utilities, and yeah, you're right, bro. Like, there's good times when we're able to get good deals. And there's times that we're like, yo, it's time to count every penny. So it's good to be aware of the market. Also, for anybody who's getting into the game, make sure you check out the market. And sometimes people like they just got their NFTs, so there might be some good deals in the market. And yeah, man, sometimes we gotta learn how to budget. Sometimes life makes us a little forces us to be on a budget. So
Yeah.
we just gotta appreciate life, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it, right? And I mean, airdrops are always nice. The one last thing I do want to maybe just state, so I just went on the crypto.com app to confirm. So they are still doing gear shipments, right? So this is the depot for tactical gear. And so they haven't finished minting that NFT collection yet. So I think that also like lends itself to like me being a little bit more skeptical about this being an NFT drop, just because it's like, well, this hasn't even finished minting yet. So like there's still just under 4,000 of the 5,000 packs. Like it's 3,865 packs left as of right now
Oh wow.
recording, right? So it's like there's still quite a bit, and like you know how often they restock the depot, right? So it's like, is
Yeah.
this the last restock? I mean, it ends in 33 days, so there's 33 days to buy these, but it's just like, yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It might not be a good idea to try something new when you haven't sold out the last.
yeah, that's the only like hesitation I would have to say like, I mean, if it sold out like what the tools did, and there was, or even like the Dark Lions, I mean, sold out instant, right? Like if it was selling out
Yeah.
like that, no problem. But 100,000 NFTs, that's a lot of NFTs to try and sell. So if they brought out another 100,000 NFT collection, and this is where I want to say, like, it makes sense. Hey, bring out a 25,000 NFT collection for vehicles, but those vehicles, it better be a boat, and I want to sail around my lagoon in my nice yacht. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Dude, vehicles are vehicles on fire.
I think it'd be fun, especially if there's a whole world, like an actual map for us to drive around, and little pinpoints being like DJ Oracle's land. Go check it out. Let's see what his city looks like. Do some scouting before I drop down the leaderboard to attack him. you know, or do actual like real raids. I'm rolling in there with you know, well, there's not very many legions, but like D Kimbo and Mr. Singh, Big. We'll roll in, and as a squad, we'll take down your guys' cities. You know,
Let's call
do
some
some
Broncos.
PvP, a little bit of real time PvP. None of this other click and bait stuff.
Dude, there's so many possibilities for the game, bro. I love it.
Oh, that's it. Like, I mean, that's where we can just sit here and speculate endlessly, right? So I don't know, but yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
yep, yep.
I would love to hear some of the community feedback. Like, what do you guys think is going to go on in season 3? Do you think there's an NFT drop coming with the chain and the bottle riddles, or what do you guys thinking is going to happen with it? I don't know. Do you have much more to speculate, or maybe we just do the outro, and we're coming up on 2 hours here, so I think probably a good time to end her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you guys. If you're still here, Crow fan, shout out to you. You're a trooper. Again, we just the two dudes that love talking about Main City. We love to share what we've learned. We love to get people on board. The more that the new players and all of us learn about new techniques, the more we share, the better we all get at it. Again, like the video, subscribe, share with anybody who you know. And if you're still here, man, my love to you, mad love to you.
Yes, much appreciated, right? And all the engagements you guys have with us online, it helps us move forward as well. So keep it up, and we appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to listen to, yeah, like DJ Oracle said, to guys that just are passionate and really enjoy Main City. So, we could sit here, speculate, and ramble on forever, but, we want to try to keep it somewhat timely. So, yeah, we appreciate you guys' time. Hit us down there in the comments with some of your thoughts and speculation as to what you think's going on. And if you have any other questions, concerns, or comments in regards to any of the other topics we covered, we'd love to hear your feedback for sure. And, feel free to reach out to us. The discords for both Legion and Void are down below, as well as the Main City discord. So, make sure you're hopping in there and, shoot us a message if you see us, hanging out in the city plaza or in the unsecured chats. So, yeah, again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Oh, you want to maybe just last little bit of caveat here. I know DJ, you said you need a little bit of time away, and I know, so I'm a little bit busy coming up in April as well. So unfortunately, I think we're going to be on maybe a few week hiatus, maybe resuming early May, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely we gotta stay. At least, yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta stay
spring's a busy time for
stay
everyone,
for
right?
time.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, definitely. But we'll be as engaged as we possibly can, of course. And we definitely be able to answer as many questions as we have, as you guys have. But if you don't see us that engaged, don't worry about us. We're doing all right. We just got some things going on, cooking in the background.
yeah, exactly. It's all it is. But sometimes real life takes hold, and other times you just got other stuff going on. So, but no, again, yeah, appreciate everybody for taking the time. So yeah, look forward to early May. We'll have the podcast number 9 coming out, and we'll hopefully have a few videos here and there also to keep you guys entertained throughout April.
Yeah, so definitely let us know any questions that come up. Definitely always put them in the comments. We're always glad to help everybody out. And yeah, man, thank you guys for being with us, and thank you, Arwin, for hosting. I think we did great. I hope you guys love it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Right on. We'll talk later, and thanks for joining me, DJ. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Late.